In this video, I'm going to be telling you why I'm choosing the FX6, the Sony FX6 in 2024. Let's talk about it. So the first reason, right out of the box, is ready to go. You got a top handle with XLR ports for your microphones. So there's several ways to record. It's very light compared to the bigger cinema cameras like your Sony Venice, your Sony FX9, even the Burano, I believe, is lighter than. And it's good because you could actually balance your FX6 on certain gimbals, like the, if I'm not mistaken, the RS3, and it'll handle that weight. It comes ready to shoot on any occasion, like podcasts, like documentaries, like Nat Geo style wildlife, you know, short films, feature films, you name it. This camera comes out the box ready to go and ready to shoot. You really don't need anything else. You can get the job done with what you have. The Sony Ecosystem is another reason why I'm choosing the FX6 in 2024. Let me explain. You have the small cinema camera, the FX30 to the FX3, even up to the Sony Venice 2. You can use these seamlessly with time code. Most of these cameras are E Mount, so you could use these. You can use the Sony lenses interchangeably, and that's another reason, because if you think about it, you want to work within an ecosystem. If you have a full set with multiple cameras, it's easier to color grade. It's easier processing and post-production if you have the correct tools that go seamlessly hand in hand with each other. The Sony FX3 and the Sony FX6 is perfect together. In the Sony FX30, the Sony FX6, the FX9, it works hand in hand. They go together, even on major sets. For an example, on Snowfall, from the FX30 all the way up to the FX9 and the Sony Venice, they shot a full season of Snowfall. Another example, in the feature film world, you had, for the movie Creator, the FX3 was the main camera, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe the FX9 was used very rarely as a B camera on that set. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you like content like this, please, please, please give me a subscribe. I'm trying to do this thing full time. So if you will, please help me out. Hit that subscribe button with the notification bell, and hit the like button and comment. Let me know what you think. Another reason that I'm choosing the FX6 in 2024 is this camera is still holding its value. I bought this camera, if I'm not mistaken, almost $7,000, body only. I can sell it right now for almost that value at any given moment. It's in high demand. And as far as the value, the renter's value, it's way up. You know, I know people renting their Sony FX6s out for, you know, $500 to $400, you know, per, I guess, session with this camera, because you could use it as a package. So if you're a cinematographer, you could charge companies as a cinematographer to bring on your FX6, and people are going for it. Why? Because it's a quality camera. You have cinematic qualities all throughout this camera, inside and out. The processing, the sensor, the resolutions, and then if you add that Atomos Ninja 5 Plus, hey, the sky's the limit, you know? So the value of this Sony FX6 is still holding up. And even like the FX3, these cameras are dominating right now. It's a very popular camera on film sets as well. As a matter of fact, everybody wants this camera on their set, whether it's for BTS, behind the scenes, whether it's for A camera, B camera. If you have an FX6 and you're an owner operator and you're pretty good at, you know, with the basic, you know, capturing, you can land some pretty solid freelance jobs out here, because they are definitely out there. Now, another reason why I want to continue my 2024, continue this year with the Sony FX6, is because the lens choices. From the low budget lenses to the higher end lenses, you have great selection. All right, with the Sony E Mount, and you could even use adapters to put certain lenses on here. But now the sky's the limit. you have full frame anamorphic lenses ready to be put on the Sony FX6. So the sky's the limit now. You could get a lot out of that sensor as far as, color, as far as resolution. It's a lot of juice you could pull out of the Sony FX6 with certain lenses. You could get certain looks. Hey, it's a variety of looks you could achieve with the Sony FX6. Another reason, there's very few cinema cameras with internal ND filters. All right, listen, this saves time, it saves space, it saves you money. You do not have to purchase internal ND filters if you don't want to. Now, me personally, right now, I'm using a Tiffin Black Pro Mist filter on my Sony FX6 right now, but I'm using one stop of the internal ND filter, and it makes a difference. And then guess what? You could use automatic ND filter settings on this camera if you're going to be switching from studio to outside. And it really helps you to just focus on the shots rather than trying to adjust your ND filters and, all of this stuff. That's pretty much all I got as far as the reasons why I want to use this camera for 2024. Eventually, I will attain the Sony Burano or the Sony Venice 2. Eventually. Right now, I got my eyes on the Sony Burano. It's looking promising. And my Sony FX6 could be an A cam or B cam to such camera. So I'm looking forward to that. Once I get my hands on it, we'll do reviews and all of that. And I'll let you guys know what I think. But if you guys want to purchase the FX6 in 2024, make no mistake, it is very well worth the investment, because that's what it is. It's an investment. You can rent it out. You could rent it out to production companies. You could freelance with it. You could make videos to upload them on YouTube or any other social media platform. You could do all kinds of things with this camera. And this camera is a real deal cinema camera. It's worth every penny. It's worth every dollar if you could afford that investment. Don't forget, you also have the FX30. It's worth, I think, $1,700, $1,800 right now, body only. You could go purchase that. You have the FX3, I think $4,000. You could go purchase that. You don't have to spend $6,000, $7,000 on your first cinema camera or any camera in 2024. There's lots of great options. But this option, the Sony FX6, along with a few other cameras that I got my mind on, purchasing as B and C cameras, which will probably be the FX30 and the FX3. These are great cameras, and this is a great ecosystem to invest in. I recommend the FX6 if you can get it. I recommend the FX3 if you can get it, and even the FX30 with the APC sensor or the Micro Four Thirds sensor. Yes, I do recommend it if you can get it. So if you like content like this, please give me a like, give me a subscribe for more videos to come. If you will, give me a comment. Let me know what you think. Hit that notification bell, and I'm out. Thank you guys for watching. Wait a minute. I have something to say. Okay, I have something to tell you guys. There was something that happened that almost stopped me this year from making this content, because I got scammed out of one of my cameras that I was trying to sell, and it hit me hard because I was going to use those funds to, purchase other things for the studio here, for another camera. But you know what I said? I said, hey, I'm just going to use my iPhone. The footage that you see of the FX6, I use my camera on my phone to achieve those shots, and it's not the best, but I'm just trying to encourage you all. You don't need the most expensive cameras. You don't. You could use an iPhone. There's been movies shot with an iPhone. There's been films shot with an iPhone. There's been behind the scenes shot with iPhones. There's been podcasts shot with iPhones, in Androids or whatever you have. Right now, the camera within your pocket right now, you could use to start filmmaking. And I just didn't want that event, of me getting scammed for my other camera or whatnot to be an excuse to not make these videos for you guys. So, and I wanted to also use that as encouragement. You don't need expensive cameras to get started. In 2024, everything that comes out from here on out is damn good. You got good quality coming out of pretty much every camera that's coming out today. So don't let that be an excuse. And I'm not gonna let that be an excuse going forward. So there you go.